Welcome to A Dead Squirrel in the Woods, a paranormal podcast. This is a podcast that me and my sister decided to start. The first full installment is set to drop on Friday, January 13th, 2023. I am Nick, one of the spooky siblings, and normally I would be joined by my sister Callie. A little information about us. We are 28 years apart in age. I got into paranormal by listening to Lore by Aaron Mankey and watching Kindred Spirits. We hope to visit some of the places and experience them firsthand. We decided to do this podcast after attending the 2022 Paracon in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This season we will be covering many sites suspected of reported hauntings or UFO sightings. One area will be the Apostle Islands in LaPointe, Wisconsin, and Bayfield, Wisconsin. We will discuss the cities that claim to be Wisconsin's UFO capitals. There will be a discussion of Sheboygan County, where we are located, and we will be looking into the witch trials in Whitewater, Wisconsin. Make sure to check out the extra installments on folklore. Tis the night, tis late in Bulgaria, and all through the village the grown-ups are drunk, full of beer and such swellage, while the children a-tremble, hide deep in their beds, fearful that Krampus will rip off their heads. Anne Hart, 2016. So, in this installment, I want to discuss the legend of Krampus, from his origins to his history. The origin of Krampus is unclear. Some have it going back to pre-Christian times. The Krampus figure, according to some, goes back as far as the 6th and 7th century. The earliest written record of him happens just before the 16th century. The origin of the name Krampus is most likely a derivative of Kral, a Germanic term for claw, or perhaps Krumpen from Bulgarian, meaning something withered, wilted, and devoid of life. This leads historians to link Krampus to the concept of death. Some theories view Krampus as the male version of the Norse goddess Hel, Hel, aka Hela. Krampus is part demon and part goat. Alternatively, some surmise that Krampus is not a version of Hela, but the spawn of Hela. This would make him Loki's grandson. Krampus is confined to the icy depths of Niflheim, where he remains 364 days a year. On the coldest day, he escapes and comes to the realm of man, hunting the delinquent youth and unruly children. Krampus is a horned figure in Central and Eastern Alpine folklore. Some believe that Krampus is the descendant of the Alpine pagan goddess Frau Perchta, an ancient Yuletide witch and muse. This was the basis of a 2017 box office flop, Mother Krampus. Krampus has the embodiment of Epiphany. This is the powers of judge, jury, and executioner. Like St. Nicholas, Krampus could be the product of pagan tradition. Krampus, according to legends, visits on December 5th, assisting St. Nicholas by handling the bad kids, or the naughty ones. He punishes the delinquent and unruly children with birch rods. Birch rod was the most popular implement for spanking in Europe. Birch rods are a bundle of thin, leafless twigs bound together, otherwise known as birch. Some versions switch the birch branches for a whip. Krampus, in some cultures, carries as well a portable wash tub, basket, or an empty sack. And we will get into the reasons for the extra items. Krampus, according to some tales, smells like burnt coal and sulfur to associate with hellfire. He carries around a long chain, signifying the binding of the devil. This is, according to Christians. Bells of many types in some cultures are attached to the chain. This is so you can hear when Krampus is coming. Krampus has a goat-like face and a long tongue that seems never-ending. He leaves a trail of foul-smelling saliva in his path with his long tongue. Surprisingly, various alpine legends say he is well-spoken. The most common traits in all versions are: 1. He's hairy. 2. Brown or black. 3. He has cloven hooves. And 4. He has horns of a goat. There are 3 tiers of punishment. Now, the children who honor their parents need not fear from Krampus, while the children that are naughty, well, that's a different case. Lower tier. This is the most frequent punishment associated with Krampus. This is spankings and whippings. This could be done with birch branches, bundles, branches, or a whip depending on the version. The middle tier is for relapsing children. Krampus twines his tongue around the children, scoops them out of bed into a basket, or wash tub, or an empty sack. He kidnaps them for at least a year. Yes, I said kidnaps them for at least a year, with the number of relapses most likely playing into the sentence, so it could be longer than a year. The final tier, and this is the most gruesome and painful death. This is for children who are lost causes that even their parents have given up on them. The children endure multiple tortures. Feast day for Krampus is December 5th every year and is known as Krampusdant and Krampus Night in English. Krampus continues to roam the streets until the second week of December, before returning to the glacial Alps until next December 5th. Now, Krampus does have a weakness. Fruit offerings presented by children, most of the time, if fruit is left out, the fruit is gone with nothing left in return. But the fact that the children are left intact probably is the reward. In some parts of Europe, they exchange greeting cards with Krampus on them. This has been going on since the 19th century. This has been a little bit about Krampus. There are many movies that have been based on Krampus that you can watch. I even found Krampus cards on Amazon when doing research for this material. Once again, this is a Dead Squirrel podcast. Dead Squirrel in the Woods, a paranormal podcast. I am one half of the Spooky Siblings, Nick, and I hope you join us on January 13th for our first full-length installment. Music for this podcast came from the Krampus original motion picture soundtrack by Douglas Pipes.